Have you ever wondered why would someone tell you not to work on your credit? Like, why would someone ever tell you not to worry about your credit? I've seen talk radio hosts, pastors, debt-free YouTube content creators, and they're telling people not to worry about their credit. And they're telling people that even though right here in front of all of our faces, we live in a credit-driven society. Individuals use credit to get the things that they want to get without having to come out of a whole bunch of cash. And most people don't have cash to pay for stuff in cash. And really, no one with money pays for stuff in cash. They may pay off stuff that they use with credit, but they don't pay everything in cash. Don't believe those hyped up stories about that. It's crazy. We live in a credit society, and what we all need to understand, and what I came to the realization, because there was a time where I was this debt freedom crusader out there, no debt. But let me just tell you, you should make a mindset or consider a mindset shift of thinking about managing your debt. That means if you got to get yourself out of trouble, there's going to be some time to do that. But then you manage your debt and you have good credit. Because when you manage your debt and you add that with good credit, you end up creating wealth for yourself because you save money on the same things that people with bad credit pay more for. You actually improve your lifestyle because you get more choices of where you get to live, choices on things that you get to get. You have more freedom, and you also have the potential, if you do all of those other things the right way, to build generational wealth for you and your family. You will have that opportunity if you follow those steps. Now, I understand that a lot of people are like, I don't know, there's like a crazy vibe that's out there about credit repair, and it's because there's been so many scams that are out there. Now, what you might consider a scam is different than what I might consider a scam. What I consider a scam with credit repair is when someone is trying to sell you something that is totally unrealistic. Someone who does not tell you that it's going to be work. Someone who does not tell you that you got yourself into this situation. Someone didn't just throw bad credit on top of you. And so that means that is sometimes the distance between you when you had good credit and when you messed up your credit is going to take the same amount of distance to get yourself cleaned up and get back into having good credit, depending on your situation. So, but I understand it. And we live in a do-it-yourself society. Some people want to know how to clean their credit up themselves. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. Some people don't trust companies for whatever the reason. Whatever your reasons are, they are valid to you. Maybe it's failed before where you just get frustrated. You're like, it just, nothing is working, and you just get comfortable with living with bad credit. Don't stay in that comfort zone. Please don't. I mean, it's that's not the zone for you to be in. Maybe you consider credit repair and you just think it's just too expensive. Well, what I like to tell people to do is to think about what you're spending every day living with bad credit. Like if you were to add up everything that you're paying on right now, and and that's just money wise, but think about lifestyle. When you don't have a lifestyle that you want, you are like spending your own life. It's more than money. It's more than money. But when you get to where you get to, that's why have you ever looked at people who seem like they have a carefree lifestyle? That's because they took care of their finances and their credit. So money does not become important when everything else is taken care of. Like sometimes people be thinking like people with money are always thinking about money. No, they don't think about money because the money is taken care of. But how did the money get taken care of? Because their credit is taken care of. Because they had the confidence to be able to do anything that they want to be able to do because of their credit. So even if they need to get more capital to do something, or they need to go get a loan to go get a new car at a low interest rate, or sell their home and move to another home and get that home at a lower interest rate, or get their first home at a lower interest rate, everything revolves around credit. You can say that credit is the foundation. If you have the foundation right, nothing can crumble. You can make mistakes, but you'll be able to get yourself out of those mistakes as long as you manage your debt and keep your credit in good standing. That's why people with good credit fight so hard, because they know and understand. So if you have your debt under control and your credit under control in a good level, you will be able to move forward amazingly in your life, just amazingly. But whatever your reasons are for wanting to have, not wanting to work on your credit, those are all valid, because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. But for you who want to start working on your credit, I want to first show you some people who were thinking like you, where they were like frustrated, didn't know what to do. And they were like, I need help, reaching out, very skeptical. Some of them, it didn't work with other choices that they made in the past. But I want to show you that credit repair can work, and that it's a team effort, and that if you get your mindset right, miracles will happen. And I'm not talking about like a miracle where you're like throwing a Hail Mary and trying to catch the ball and score a touchdown. No, I'm talking about work. Just think in your own mind right now. If work is being done, just like you go to work every day, you get stuff accomplished throughout the whole week. If you went to work on Monday and they told you to do everything on Monday for the whole week, number one, do you feel like that would even be realistic? So if you're sitting there with bad credit, and you've been sitting there with bad credit for years, for months and years, or however long it is, would it be realistic to say, I want you to just resolve all of this in 20 to 30 days? No, but you can start seeing, just like you go to work every day, you get a result on Monday, result on Tuesday, result on Wednesday, all the way up to Friday, and you've gotten a certain amount of results. But it's not for everything. If it was for everything, then your boss would say, okay, we don't need you anymore. We just needed you for this week. No, you continue to work to get to the goal of what the company needs you to do over and over and over and over and over again. Credit repair is the same way, in a sense, is that depending on what you need done, there's going to be a certain amount of work that's going to have to be done. And it's going to have to be done, and it's going to have to be worked on. It's going to be a lot of different options that might have to be available to you that aren't available to other people, because everybody's situation is unique to their own issues. Like, do you think that your credit, like, just think about this. Is your situation, you are an individual, is your situation the same as someone else? Or do you believe that you deserve special attention for your situation? And so if you deserve special attention for your situation, why would you try to grade yourself on the result that you should get based off of what someone else got? What you should do is you should just get yourself in the mindset of, okay, if someone else was able to do it, if we put it to work for your stuff, that it could be able to get done, because your situation is unique to you. So first, let's talk about some testimonials, and also I want to give this this disclaimer. If you don't know this yet, if you go to my website, I have this disclaimer on here, right here, and there is something called a telemarketing sales rule. This is something that has worked its way through with credit repair companies, but it is actually working its way through with business opportunity, network marketing. It is not just specifically for credit repair. I've even seen it with crypto. On my Making Money with Stephen A. Williams channel, I'm going to do one that they're talking about with crypto. This is something that the CFPB and FTC, they have this in place because they don't want people to they don't want people to go through unrealistic, if they're talking to someone on the phone and they get unrealistic sales pitches, they're trying to put an end to that, which I agree with it. I think that if you can go to our website and you see what we offer and exactly what we say, that you will pay more attention, and what we say on the site is what we mean. And there's no misunderstanding. So this is what we've done. So due to the telemarketing sales rule, we cannot speak to anyone until they are a client. Now, we don't charge people up front to be a client, but this is the rule. So you have to sign up, and then we send you an agreement, and in that agreement, it's a month-to-month agreement. And then we can speak to you, we can do your review to help you with your credit. This is the rule. We don't make the rules, but this is the rule, and we're sticking to it. Now, we always say, and this is what anytime that you've spoken to anyone, anytime on my website, we always say you will start. Look at this word. Keyword is start seeing results in 30 to 45 days. Average case finishes in 3 to 6 months, and in some cases it could be 12 months, depending on your situation. But on average, 3 to 6 months. The reason why we say 3 to 6 months is because if there's stuff that needs to be resolved with settlements, we get you moving in that direction. We don't just keep disputing and throwing out letters out there. Once it comes back 100% verified, we move you to a settlement phase. And that's the way that credit repair has to be done. So now, before we get to talking about repairing your credit, let's look at some of the testimonials, because I think that this is important, because you can see the work that was done for other people, and you can kind of imagine yourself kind of being in a similar situation that they're in. So Mazen here, he made this video for us stating that we transformed his life, because when he came to us, he was $250,000 in debt. His credit scores were in the low 500s. And it did take us 4 years to resolve his situation. So no, if you come to us with $250,000 in debt and you're expecting 3 to 6 months to get it done, you don't need to come to our company, because it's not going to be done that way. He had multiple lawsuits coming at him. He had multiple creditors coming at him. This takes a different type of process that our company offers for this. And it's not, and it takes a total mindset shift. So if you go to my website and you listen to his video, he actually uses the words like it saved his life. Because if you're thinking about having a mountain of debt on top of you, 250,000, going through a lot of personal issues, it's going to be very difficult for a person to get their mind kind of shaped around the work that it's going to take to be able to get themselves in a better situation. But he was able to stick with it. At the beginning, it was kind of tough, but he was able to stick through it. And now, it's been more than 4 years later. So it's probably been about 8 years since he actually went through this. But it took 4 years to get him to where his credit was back repaired. The debt was resolved through lawsuits. I mean, it was a lot of work to be able to get him in this situation. And just think, if he didn't do anything, which some people think that not doing anything is like not making a decision. If he did not do anything, it would be 8 years later and he would still be in the same situation. This young man has multiple businesses now and is doing great. Whenever I see him, he's a local customer. Whenever I see him, he still sends people to me, and he just says, you got to listen to what Steve says, because if you're coming to him for credit repair and you need the help. You can't be telling Steve and his employees how you want to fix your credit. If you want to do that, then you just do it yourself. Here's another testimonial from Danielle. She came to us. She was being turned down multiple times, lender after lender, for trying to get her home. Remember, when most people's wealth is built through their home, and she was trying to buy a home. She kept getting turned down. We looked at her situation and we said, this is, we told her exactly what needed to get done. We were able to get that done. She got her home. This is probably more than 12 to 10 years ago that she had came to us. So you're talking about building wealth. She's making payments for a minimum. I think it's at least 10 years ago she came to us as a client. And so if she didn't do anything, if she just accepted that she was going to get turned down, she would not have her home, and she would have not been making 10 years plus of payments, building equity and building financial security for herself and her family. Here's another one, Doris Black. I remember when she sent this picture, she bought that house. She said it was her forever house, and she was getting turned down. We needed to get her credit score up. We got her credit score up by 100 points, and she was able to get her house, building wealth. Here's another one, Sharon. Right here, Sharon. Let's move this up some. She got her home. She was at the closing table right there. You can see there, she was glad to get her dream home. And that's the thing, is when people get this stuff that they've been trying to get it, this is their dream home, their dream car, because they were able to utilize their good credit after getting it repaired, utilize their good credit to be able to get the things that they wanted. Here's another one here with Sammy. He got his auto loan, one of the number one negative credit items that we see on a lot of people's credit, to predatory auto loans, where they had these high interest auto. Sammy right here, he got his auto loan at 4.75%. We've seen people with some of those predatory lending, auto loan lending companies as high as 25%. You've seen the stories. Here's Dexter. He was not able to get approved for a car. He was a local customer. Also came in, worked on his credit. Months later, was able to get a low down payment and low monthly payments. Everybody that he went to before he decided to come to us, they wanted him to put a high down payment, and they were giving him high monthly payments. Here is Miss Hardy with her picture that she sent us with her Mercedes SUV. You can see that they got the bow on top of it. This is her dream car. This is what she wanted. And if you have good credit, you'll be able to get the things that you want. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't be able to get the things that you deserve using your credit, but you want to be able to get the things that you deserve at the payments that you can afford. You don't want to get into any payments that you can't afford. So now let's talk about what you need to do to start fixing your credit. The first thing that you need to do is you need to get copies of your credit reports. A lot of people will use the free type services, and it's like, I tell people this: if you're trying to fix something, do you want to get half of the information or do you want to get all of the information? Because you're going to need all of the information to be able to get you the number one, to know what you're facing. And there's 3 credit reporting agencies. A lot of the free services that I've seen only give 2, and they're just blasting you with a lot of advertisements and offers to really make your situation worse. You need to be focused on getting the information so you can know what you're facing when trying to repair your credit. If you do not have all 3 credit reports, I'm talking about everything, you can go to our website, www.scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports. You're going to want to look at everything on there. You want to do an audit of your personal information, an audit of your addresses. You want to do an audit of all of the inquiries that you have on there. You want to do an audit of all the positive and an audit of all the negative information that's on your credit reports. You want to look at the furnishers that are on your credit reports. A lot of people don't pay attention to the furnishers. When I say furnishers, those are the creditors who put the information on your credit reports, and they should have valid addresses. The credit reports that we give you will have all of the addresses on there. You're going to need that to start your credit repair journey. So now, once you review all of the inaccurate information, just because something is negative does not mean that, and it was something that you did, does not mean that that information is accurate. The Fair Credit Reporting Act states that any information that is placed on your credit reports from the furnishers, that information has to be 100% accurate. It doesn't say that it needs to be 99%. It doesn't say 95%. It doesn't say 75%. It says 100% accurate. You have a right to have it 100% accurate. If you challenge it through the dispute process, the furnisher, through the Bureau and through direct furnisher dispute letters, has the obligation to either remove it if they cannot get the accurate information or update it. Those are the two things. Now, the leeway that the credit bureaus have is that because they're getting millions of disputes on a monthly basis, is that they get 30 to 45 days to respond. What we've seen from our Congress Representative Clyburn, you can look this up, that for some reason, they're internal. I don't want to, say that I know 100% what's going in there, but I did read his report, and this was an official report from Congress, stated that a lot of the disputes were just being thrown away. So when they got them, they didn't even process them. They were just thrown away. And that frustrates people. I know that frustrates you. It frustrates us as a company when we're trying to help people. But this is just the world that we live in. Some of the time that it's not fair. You've heard people say that with stuff, nothing is going to be fair, that you got to work hard to get it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're going to have to work hard to repair your credit. So you got to be ready to work hard to repair your credit. And if you have to send the dispute again to get them to pay attention to it, and yes, we know that they're supposed to pay attention to it the first time, but if you have to send it again and you have to send it a third time, does that hurt you? Does that really hurt you? Or does it just shows that there's going to have to be work that you got to do? Just like going to your job, like I talked about earlier. You go to your job and you don't get a result for your boss on Monday that they want for the whole week. No, you work each day. So you have to think about that when it's coming down to repairing your credit, that it's going to take work. And more than just focusing so much on the result that you want to get, which that's part of it, is that you also need to focus on the day-to-day. You focus on what you do now to get you to where you want to be and what you have to continue doing. That's where the grinding work is. And if you can get focused on there, you're going to look up, just like the testimonials that I just showed you, you're going to look up and you're going to be like, my credit is repaired, and all of that time that you spent to get it repaired, it's just going to wash away because you're where you want to be. But you got focused in on what you had to do mentally to change your mindset about what you need to do on a day-to-day basis to manage your debt, and you're also working on your credit. So once you figure out what's inaccurate, and you need to look at and study the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you need to look at the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, because there's going to probably be some collections on your credit reports. Look at those, and then you put your dispute letters together based off of what you see. You have a right to challenge any information on your credit reports that you believe is not showing accurately and unfairly. That is actually in the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, Next thing is you need to prepare your disputes. When you prepare your disputes, you need to prepare disputes properly for the credit reporting agencies, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and you also need to prepare your disputes to the furnishers. Credit reporting agencies have 30 to 45 days to respond. They may not respond the way that you want to have them respond. Some of the times they do, some of the times they don't. You need to be prepared to read what they came back with and identify if it was just something that they just threw out there because they probably had a high workload, and you need to send back to them saying this does not seem right because off of what I see on my credit reports, you did not really do investigation of what I sent in as a dispute. That's the world that we live in. We do not control how they do their process. The only thing that you can control is sending out the information to them to be disputed. To the furnishers, usually within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what type of furniture it is, if it's an original creditor or a debt collector, you'll usually get that information back a lot faster. Some of the times they'll state, well, we believe that this is accurate because of this, and this, and then you need to be prepared to respond back if it's something that you want to challenge, or if you want to move into a phase where you can settle that debt so you'll be able to move forward. So that's going to be options that are available to you. All right, so now let's look at how you can move forward with our company with getting your credit repaired. What I want to do is I want to show you what we had to offer. I think that this could help you. So when you go to our site, thecreditrepairshop.com, one of the things that I do pay attention to is once you sign up for services, we always want you to know what's going to happen next. A lot of times people are afraid to sign up with something because they're not sure what's going to happen next. This is what we do. So first, you click this one here. This shows our plans. Got some more testimonial stuff on here. So when you go to our website, you'll see here you have different choices. We have a month-to-month, $110.95. All of our plans are $0 to start. $0. You don't pay anything to start. And then we have a bi-weekly plan, $55.48, and we have a couples plan. So once you sign up for the services, you pick whichever plan you want to be on. We're going to send you a portal login, and then you're going to sign your agreement. And that agreement is just so we remain compliant with the TSR. We want to be 100% compliant. Once you fill that out, we're able to speak to you by phone, and we can do your credit report review. And at that time, once we go over your credit report, we're going to tell you what we see and the path that we believe that we have to take to be able to get you to where you want to be. At that time, if you feel that we're not a good fit for you, you can cancel and you didn't pay anything. Right at that time. So you have nothing to lose, but this is the way that we have to do it. Normally, you probably expect that you want to talk to someone before you end up signing up for something, but we don't make that rule. This is the rule. You have to do self-service sign up. So if you want to, we have these options here to sign up, and we work for you. I also have a link that's in the description in this video if you want to just get the information and repair your credit yourself, because I understand that some people want to do it themselves. So I have a link below here, below this video, where you can actually sign up and do credit repair yourself if you feel that you want that you had the time to be able to do it.
Visitor.
And here we go here, this program right here. And there we go. So I'll give you everything that you need to be able to repair your credit. I'll show you how to negotiate with debt collectors. I'll show you how to do the dispute letters. I give you the templates, everything that you need if you feel that you want to go that route. It's a little bit cheaper, but if you feel that you don't have the time to do it, then you can most definitely consider working and having us do the work for you. All right, so what I want you to do is I want you to go to the description box below. You'll see the links that are available to the different programs that we offer. If you have debt collectors coming after you, this is something that I've always offered at the end of my videos, because this is something that we've helped people, and we've had a lot of people tell us that these 3 letters that we give for free, but I do ask for a donation if you have it available, because it'll save you time, money, and frustration. Grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations, debt validation, and cease and desist collection activities letter, because a lot of your issues can be stopped if you are proactive about dealing with these debt collections that you might have on your credit. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of the CreditRepairShop.com.